Welcome back. This weekend's winter storm can make roads icy and dangerous. Officials are urging people, of course, to stay home, so are we, or to be very careful if you have to drive. Joining us with expert tips to stay safe is KHOU of AAA Texas. Thanks for being here, Doug. Now, how dangerous is it driving during winter weather, do you think, especially here in Texas?
Yeah, good morning, Jen. Thanks for having me on. Driving on winter weather roads is extremely dangerous for drivers. Each year in the United States, snow, ice, and poor road conditions lead to about 500,000 crashes, which result in about 2,000 fatalities. And in Texas, we're not used to driving in conditions like this. That's why it is so important that we all head into this weekend. If we do have to head out there on the road, we must remember that we can't drive like we normally do when it's, in the 70s and sunny in Houston. We must slow down, and we really should be following the advice of city and county leaders to avoid unnecessary travel.
I was talking to a mechanic recently, and he said, I was driving slowly, and he said 40 miles per hour. I was like, that is not slow enough with ice.
Right.
Well, anyway,
Definitely
recently,
not with these kinds of conditions.
certainly not. Recently, we have seen several of those multi-vehicle pileups in the northern states. Now, how does one crash on ice increase the risk for others, and what should drivers keep in mind?
Yeah, that's a great question because, we see those pileups and we think, how could that happen? Well, you just got to remember, you really can lose control of your vehicle very easily on ice slicked roadways. So, what we should be doing is start to increase your following distances. If you have to get out there this weekend, increase your following distances to 8 to 10 seconds, giving you more time to stop should you need to. Of course, we can't stress this enough. Slow way down. I mean, you may not even be able to drive the posted speed limit. You need to be driving for the conditions that are present, and start to make it a habit to look out for brake lights far ahead. If you see a bunch of brake lights, you obviously know something is happening. Another thing that you should do is don't use cruise control on icy roads. It's a great feature when it's dry outside, but you need to maintain control of your vehicle at all times when driving in treacherous conditions. So avoiding using cruise control is really best. You also want to make sure that if you're, of course, not distracted, you never want to be using your smartphone any day, but particularly when you're driving in bad conditions, leave all the distractions behind. Put that phone in the back seat or have a passenger help you out if you need to make a call or send a text message.
Yeah, I know it's tempting for folks to get that phone out to record the ice, but you're not going to be able to see it or show it anyway.
Right, exactly. And one thing is, if you do get involved in a type of a crash like that, any kind of crash, whether it's a multi-car crash or a single car crash, it's best to remember there are other vehicles that are coming that may lose control. So what you want to do is stay inside your vehicle if it's safe to do so with your seatbelt on, and call for help from inside the car. Getting outside the vehicle on icy roads is a recipe for disaster because of other vehicles that could be approaching.
Yeah, or you could slip and slide on the ice itself.
Yeah, absolutely. That happens too.
Now, Doug, before people even start their engines, what are the most important things they should do?
Well, number one, never start your engine in an enclosed area like a garage because of the threat of carbon monoxide poisoning. But you also really need to prepare your vehicle for driving in winter conditions. And one of the things you should do is really check your tire inflation. The inflation levels go down in the colder weather. And if you're driving on underinflated tires, you just simply don't have the traction. Check your antifreeze levels and other coolant levels. Make sure that they're topped off. Check your headlights, taillights, turn signals. Make sure that they're all working properly. If there is any ice or snow accumulation on your vehicle, go ahead and remove that off of the car before you start driving. And the reason for that is because if you start driving with a bunch of ice or chunks of snow on your vehicle, that's going to fly off of your car, hit other vehicles, which could lead to a distraction type of a crash.
It's such important tips, Doug. We really appreciate it. And it only takes a few minutes out of your day to really be a game changer. Thank you, KHOU, this morning for joining us.